So tonight, here's what everyone's trying to figure out when it comes to South Korea, North Korea, the U.S. What is the true game being played here by North Korea? And could the U.S. ever accept a nuclear Pyongyang? Today, I talked with Dr. Toby Dalton, the co-lead of the nuclear policy program at the Carnegie Endowment. He knows this topic inside and out. Let's say, independently, that South Korea says, you know, we're going to come to some sort of a détente with North Korea. They can have nuclear weapons, but we have some sort of an agreement or understanding. Is that something the U.S. can live with?
I think we'll have to live with it. The relationship between the U.S. and South Korea dates back to the 1950s when the U.S. entered the Korean War. We've had this defense relationship ever since. Recently, we've started to experience the nuclear threat from North Korea in a more acute way as it's developed more technical capability to potentially hit the United States with a nuclear weapon. But South Korea has been living with the potential of dangerous North Korean attacks since the 1950s, since the Korean War. And so I think the relationship has changed. If South Korea wants to develop a closer relationship or some sort of détente with North Korea, I think we have to respect that they live a lot closer to North Korea than we do, and we're going to have to follow their lead.
At some point over the last year, the South Korean president said, I have a veto power over the U.S. ever striking North Korea. I mean, with the idea being they could immediately today, with what they have, strike Seoul. But the U.S. government said that is not true. What's your understanding of that?
There is a combined forces command that involves South Korean and American and some other troops from other countries that participated in the Korean War on the Allied side. And in theory, any action would have to be coordinated through that command, and there would have to be agreement amongst the two governments about what would be done. Now, that's not technically a veto per se, but it should require some close coordination between the South Korean government and the U.S. government.
In your estimation, is this most recent move by Kim Jong-un a brilliant tactical move, and that it drives a wedge between the U.S. and one of our closest allies, which happens to be South Korea? Or is it just to buy itself some time so they can work more on their rockets and their technology, and they know that South Korea conveniently has the Olympics coming and they want to just put this on the back burner for a while? They've
done a lot of testing in the last couple of years. They now need to start consolidating the progress that they've made, figure out what they actually want to produce in a serial way rather than just one-off test missiles or test warheads. And so I think they're at a point now where they have enough data to be able to figure out how to do that. And then on the political side, there's a lot of tension between the more bellicose rhetoric coming from the Trump administration and an administration now in South Korea that's much more forward-leaning on wanting to have some sort of relationship between the South. And so that presents an opportunity for Kim Jong-un to try to drive a wedge between the two.
We are at this point, which seems to be incredibly dangerous, that even the tiniest spark could set off a huge geopolitical explosion, which could lead to war. Is this going to be accidental or intentional?
I think that the scenarios of misinterpretation of words, or more likely misinterpretation of some sort of military action resulting in conflict, is a real one. We can't dismiss it. I think for that reason, it's this current moment where the North Koreans seem to be offering an opportunity for dialogue is an important one, just to be able to de-escalate the current situation.